Today, we're diving into something that may surprise you: the profound connection between your breath and your wealth, your nervous system, and your ability to receive. So a lot of us know that creating more money is about things like strategy, maybe a vision board, clearing points of view, mindset work, things like that. But here's what I know, and what I've experienced personally and people I work with, and what science is actually showing us, is your ability to receive abundance and to allow wealth in your life starts with something much more fundamental, which is how safe your nervous system feels with receiving more and having more. So today I'm going to share why only doing traditional top-down work. Top-down work is like mindset, clearing limiting points of view and beliefs, might fall short, and how connecting with your breath and regulating your nervous system could be the missing piece in your wealth creation journey. So whether you're setting prices in your business or negotiating a raise at work, or simply desiring to feel more comfortable, more ease with receiving and expand that capacity, this episode is going to give you simple, practical tools to create that shift from the inside out. Because when we create that shift internally with our body, that's when change shows up automatically and with ease. Enjoy the episode. So let's start with something fascinating about your body and money. Have you ever noticed what happens in your body when you check your bank account, or when you quote your prices for your offerings to a client? Or how about when you receive an unexpected bill? Or even when maybe a friend offers to treat you to dinner or an experience? So for many of us, these moments they trigger an immediate stress response. And what do I mean by that? Your breathing may become more shallow, or your shoulders might tense, or you may even find yourself holding the breath entirely. It's not just anxiety. What this is, it's actually your nervous system's way of trying to protect you. It's basically scanned the environment and read that as a threat. So when we're in that state and financial stress and thinking about money, and our bodies go into that subtle survival mode, our body then shifts. It shifts its breathing. The breathing will go more to the chest and the belly. Your muscles may tense up. What's happening is your body literally is preparing for danger, because the nervous system is part of the autonomic nervous system. So it's automatic. It's part of the unconscious. We don't choose this, right? So our minds are scanning all sorts of past experiences, right, that might have happened. Maybe in your family, there was always fights around money. And so the brain has associated fighting with money. And so when anything around money is presented, the brain is doing so much automatically. And sometimes it's making connections that aren't beneficial for you, but it doesn't know that. Your mind is trying to protect you. So when that happens, because that part of the brain is so ancient, the only thing it reads threats as is like the same as, this is a lion that's going to eat me. So what happens is blood leaves the brain, the body tenses up, right? Blood goes to the muscles, so you might tense up to run away or to fight. The jaw may tighten, the breath gets shallow so it can be faster. And so all these shifts occur, but basically all that's happening is it's your nervous system saying, hey, I'm reading this as not safe. You may be asking for more money, even a large influx of money. Notice what that does to your system. Is it relaxed? Is it like, oh, this is awesome? Or is there a heightening of the nervous system, like an activation? So there's a few problems with this. Is one, when the body is in that protective state, like there's danger, must protect myself, it literally becomes harder to receive. So if you think about it, if you're bracing for impact, you can't open your arms to receive something, right? The same principle applies to money, to abundance. When we're contracting our energy, It's the body's going into fight or flight mode. All resources are going to keep you alive. Okay, they're not going to things to expand and receive and try new possibilities, because the nervous system is wired to go towards what's comfortable and what feels good, because we move towards things that feel good and that we've been used to doing. So for example, if you really dislike opening bills or checking your bank account, and we tend to avoid that, that's reinforcing to our nervous system, oh, we're avoiding that. That must mean, yes, in fact, this is dangerous, right? But when we move towards something and take action to, like, I'm going to open my bank account, one, that rewires the system to go, well, this can't be dangerous because we don't run towards a lion, right? And two, what we're going to talk about in this episode is how to get your body and nervous system in a really calm, relaxed state before you check your bank account, before you ask for a raise, before you have a conversation about money with a client. So here's where the science gets really interesting. Your breathing pattern directly influences your nervous system state. Okay, so that means you can alter the breath to basically give new signals to the nervous system that, hey, we're actually safe here. It's okay to relax. It's okay to receive. So that in turn affects your ability to recognize opportunities that are being presented, right? We're opening up to take actions that are aligned, meaning we're not taking the action from fear. We're taking an action from presence and connection and like a clear yes or no from our intuition of, oh, yes, this is for me. It allows ourselves to open up and receive more. And it also helps rewire that feeling worthy, right? We are all innately worthy. Because you are alive, you are worthy. There's nothing you have to do to be worthy yet. A lot of us have been programmed, right? From experiences in our life, from our culture, that we have to do something to receive. So when we let the body receive and have conversations about money and check our bank balances and receive dinner from a friend from a calm space, it rewires all of that programming. Okay, so some of the signals or signs that your body is having this like response, a triggering and activation of the nervous system around money and abundance is shallow breathing when money discussions come up, physical tension in the body during those same conversations or when checking accounts, holding of the breath, like forgetting to breathe during anything involving pricing conversations. That could be in your own business or when you're looking at things you would like to invest in for yourself. And then also our body's response to receiving not just gifts or dinner or money, but even compliments. Like, notice if any of those things come up, and maybe just now that you're aware these are the signs, check in, right? The next time you go to check your bank account or have a discussion, like notice, how is my breathing? Is it deep? Is it kind of shallow and up in my chest? Am I grinding my teeth? Are my shoulders up, up by my ears? And one of the things with this too is the trauma and money connection. So our early experiences, right, with money get stored in our body. Like I mentioned before, if our family, there was a lot of fighting around money, or maybe you often heard, well, we can't afford that. Or there were tense discussions that you heard going on around bills, around money. Or possibly you felt shame asking for things. And this could be when you were younger or as you grew up. And just the energy of how was money talked about in your family, with your mentors, with your friends? Was it from anxiety or avoidance? And what happens is our subconscious just takes all of that information in, especially from the ages 0 to 7. There's no filter. It's just scanning the environment for, okay, this is what it is. It goes straight into the unconscious. So it's not your fault. You're not wrong. And those do get stored in the nervous system. And so that's what our brain and nervous system is scanning for past information. And what we would like to do, right, is to instead expand and rewire those connections, because that's the gift of the brain, right? Neuroplasticity, we can make new connections, create new belief patterns, and most importantly, starting with the body, rewire the nervous system so that we don't get triggered or have that activation, that fight or flight response around things that have to do with money and receiving. So that's why the body piece and the nervous system piece is so key, because we can be doing affirmations. We can be clearing our limiting points of view. We can be journaling, which is all wonderful. I'm not saying that's not part of the equation, but then if we receive a large amount of money and it's uncomfortable, it's new, there's no past reference point for this being safe. What happens is the body, the nervous system will go, uh-oh, we've got it. This is dangerous, right? And this is often where we hear the term self-sabotage, like, oh my gosh, like, why do I keep self-sabotaging myself? I spent all the money, or I got rid of it as fast as I could. Well, what's happening is, even though consciously you'd love to have that amount, the unconscious is running like 95% of the show. So when it deems it as dangerous, it inhibits our ability not only to receive new things, but to have them, to be able to have them and hold them and then grow that. So that's why these bottom-up techniques, like anything working with the body and the nervous system, are so effective. So let's chat about that and then how we can do that. So one really simple embodiment exercise is, and you can do this at any time. It's really great when you're starting a new routine. Like, put it at like, okay, I do this first thing when I wake up. But become aware and acknowledge all of the places in your life where you are already constantly and consistently being given to. And that can be as simple as, wow, there's always water coming out of my sink and out of my fridge or my water filter. And there's heat in my house. And I have a paycheck coming in. Or I have a dog that gives me hugs and kisses all the time. Well, not really kisses, but you know. But the big ways and the small ways. So these can be things just acknowledging, because where we put our attention and awareness on is what the brain will focus on. Then when you actually need help with something, ask for it. So ask for what you desire, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Because again, when we don't avoid something, and we ask for assistance, that actually also opens us up to receiving. And then when you do get offered things like a compliment or someone to carry your bag for you or buy you a coffee, to play with practicing saying, thank you. Just thank you. No other action required. You don't have to give back a compliment or buy them a coffee. You don't have to justify, like someone says, oh, you have a beautiful dress. And we say, thank you, but this old thing, I got it a long time ago. Just thank you. So those are ways to, in your daily life, kind of change our actions around how we are with receiving in general. Now, to build safety for receiving with the body, it begins by creating safety in the nervous system. So basically, we're taking a contracted container that was in protected mode, like there's danger, and we're expanding that. How do we do that? Okay, I'm going to give you a practical breath technique for this. And the target here is to create expansive space in the body while maintaining a feeling of safety and groundedness and connection. And it's going to involve deep belly breathing, because breathing into the belly is a signal to the nervous system in the body that everything is safe. Because naturally, it's like reverse engineering our state from scared or fear or protection to, okay, when I breathe deep into the belly, we only do that when things are good and relaxed. So we can consciously change our breath to belly breathing, and it signals to our nervous system to get out of fight or flight mode and into that parasympathetic, the peaceful, the heal, the rest, the digest state. And then also having an open posture. And I know this sounds interesting, but when sitting up tall, shoulders relaxed down from the ears, relaxing your jaw, also tell your system that we're not in danger. And it creates more space for things to come in. Okay, so this is your little 3 to 5 minute technique for the breath money connection. First, begin with your hand on your belly, if that feels good. And if it also feels right, you can place another hand on your heart, or maybe it's both hands on the belly. Feel what feels right in your body. And then you're going to inhale through the nose, just deeply into the belly, as much as is comfortable, but directing the breath down into the belly. And then into the chest. Hold briefly at the top, feeling that expansion. And then exhaling slowly. Building and creating that sense of spaciousness. Okay? So again, you kind of would find a comfortable place to sit, and a place where you feel very cozy and at ease and relaxed, because again, we're signaling to the body that everything's okay. So if you have a favorite chair or a couch or a place by the fire or a blanket to wrap around you, that's wonderful. Check in with the shoulders, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, even if it's just like 1% more. Maybe you drop the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Place your hands on your belly, or one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And then we're going to take a 2-part inhale, first to the belly, and then a little bit into the chest, and then exhale through the mouth. So that can sound like and play with it so it feels good to you. It might just be we get a little bit into the belly at first, a little bit into the chest, and then pausing. It might just be a soft pause at the top. It might be holding for a few seconds. Again, the target isn't to hold it till you feel uncomfortable to create tension. It's a relaxed hold to expand the space. Notice that expansion of, I'm all filled up with air. So again, you're comfortable, your shoulders are relaxed, the jaw is relaxed, hands on the body somewhere where that feels good. A 2-part inhale through the nose, belly, then chest. Hold at the top, and then exhaling through the mouth. And see if you can continue that flow for 3 to 5 minutes. And giving yourself that room to play with, okay, like what's feeling good? How much does it feel good to breathe in the belly and then the chest? And just maybe you want to set a timer or just have something nearby. So it's like, okay, I can do this for 3 to 5 minutes. Notice how the body feels, not just during the breath, but after. That openness, that different posture, the relaxation of the body. All of these things are signaling safety to the nervous system. It's saying, hey, there is no threat here. So here's your practical real world application for that breath. So you can do that anytime, but especially before, if you know you have a money conversation coming up. Maybe once a week you go into your accounts and look at your finances, or you save your bills to open up altogether. Doing this practice before those conversations, before financial activities. So check in with the breath, check in with the body, kind of notice, okay, where am I at? And then give yourself 3 to 5 minutes of that. We'll call it that abundance breath pattern. Belly, chest, pause, release through the mouth. All right. You can also use it, limit one other practical application. So we've got before money conversations, before and during financial activities too. Like if you do that breath pattern before paying your bills, then also check in while you are in the midst of that activity, like check in with the breath. And if you find it's gotten more shallow or your shoulders have tensed, pause and create that space of comfort. And maybe it's not 3 to 5 minutes. Maybe it's just a couple of those deep belly breaths. And then also in moments of receiving. So say there's a day where you get paid if you have a paycheck coming in, or you receive a refund check in the mail or online, or you're receiving a compliment from a friend. In those moments, again, consciously breathing. Maybe it's just bringing awareness to the body and to the breath and deepening it a bit, or just checking in, directing it into the belly, And again, that practicing just saying thank you. Be present with the breath. Thank you. No need to deflect a comment or diminish the compliment. All right. So that is our podcast for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are loving the show, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe or leave a review that helps other people find the podcast and these tools. All right, sending you ease and expansion on your wealth creation journey. I hope you got something out of that episode. If you like this podcast, please share it with someone you know who'd find it useful or interesting, and subscribe so that you can listen to past and upcoming shows.